Hi, welcome back to class, and today I want to go over with you for a couple minutes a little bit of our grammatical analysis on Exodus 1, 8 to 11. Remember, as you work through these grammatical analyses, the key thing is to learn something new each week. Some of you came into class well prepared for these. Some of you are feeling like, wow, I may be a little bit over my head. But what I want you to do is to look carefully at the examples. Make sure you have the Arnold Choi book. You can't do the grammatical analysis without the Arnold Choi book. And remember that what you're doing is you're looking at the Hebrew, comparing it to some English translations, and labeling how the different Hebrew syntactical functions are expressed into, say, the English language. So for an example, let's start with Exodus 1:8. And if we look at the very first word, vayakum, it's a vav, consecutive third masculine singular. If you did the Cook Homestead book, this is going to be a past narrative, but recognize that in the Arnold Choi book, you're going to want to look that up under section 3.5.1, imperfect plus the vav consecutive. And when you do that, and you look at a couple of English translations, so like for example, I have up the ESV and the NIV. You can see the ESV, for example, starts off with now, and then Exodus 1:8 starts off with, or NIV has then. The now signals narratival in the sense of this is beginning a new paragraph. The then could be consequential. It could also be sequential. I didn't have sequential notes, but it could also be that. And that's what you're looking for. So you want to label the type of verb. It's a vav consecutive imperfect, and give that a label. And then you also want to say something about the call form. Now in this case, the call, all that simply does, this is an action verb. It indicates fientive action, and you're done with that label. So let's go to the second words. Now here we have melech, chadash. And notice we have words joined by a makaf. That indicates a construct between these two. So it's going to be king of something. Melech means king, and chadash means new. This is the king of new. Whenever you have a word in construct, what that signals is that the next word, in this case the chadash, that's in the genitival case. So you can look up genitives in our Arnold Choi book in the appropriate location. And this is an example of an attributive genitive. It's what kind of king are we talking about? It's a new king. And then as we move along to the next one, we have a preposition all, followed by Mitzrayim. This is a prepositional phrase. And when you analyze prepositions, you analyze the preposition with its objects. You analyze the entire prepositional phrase. Now, the most common prepositions are all included in the particle section of Arnold Choi. That would be 4.1. And if you look up the preposition all, it's 4.1.16. And so if you would flip there in Arnold Choi, we can see the different possibilities. The most likely one in this case, all tends to have a spatial or location piece, like over or above. Well, that's when you're looking at actually like God hovering over something, or the roof over our heads. Those would be spatial. This is talking about more of a metaphorical or more abstract type of piece, and this is a rank. This is talking about a king over Egypt, so this would be that C rank. Okay, our next word as we move along here. Again, if you have questions, post the questions on our in our course discussion area. Our next word is asher. This is simply a relative pronoun. Could mean who in this case. So and now there arose a king over Egypt who. We don't have to do anything with that, but notice this is going to begin a relative clause. Next word is lo. This is a negative word, so it's going to negate the word it's attached to. And we have yada. Yada is a third masculine singular, call perfect from yada. And again, to analyze this, we want to say something about the call, and we also want to say something about the perfect. In this case, to look up on both of those, we're going to go back again to section 3. The call is 3.1. And Again, this is a word that means no. You know, is that an action or a state? I'm going to take this as a fenitive because it's did he know something? So we're going to take that. It's kind of abstract, but that's going to be a fenitive verb in action. And then in this case, what kind of perfect is this? The word know has its own special category here. If you look up perfect on 3.2.1, the perfect can take the idea of a fenitive verb denoting a state of mind, usually requiring a present in translation. Then it has yada as an example there. So this would be an experience. Then our last word in 1.8 would be the noun for, has a definite direct object indicator. So we have the direct object and we have Joseph, and that's going to be simply the direct object. So that's verse 1.8, and I want you to see how I went through that. Again, you can look at different English translations to see what's going on. But that's essentially grammatical analysis. I do want to show you just a couple things out of verse 9. Again, the first word in verse 9 is vayomer, one of the most common vav consecutive imperfects or past narratives that you're going to see in the scriptures. And he said. Again, this is sequential in this case. It's just carrying on directly from verse 8. Remember, with your vav consecutive imperfect or your imperfect plus vav consecutive of your past narrative, the label that you're going to assign is how does it relate to the clause immediately in front of it. So we just said that a king rose up. So it's talking about, in verse 9 is going to carry on the action, and he said, the king that rose up said. Preposition L, to his people. This is another prepositional phrase, and if you look up L, this is a L following a verb of speech. So this is going to be a declarative use of L. Hine just means behold or look. And now this is the last piece that I want to go over with you. What we have now is we have Am B'nai Yisrael. This is literally the people of the sons of Israel. You can see our English translations have it the people of Israel or the Israelites. But in the Hebrew, it's a little it's three words: the people of the sons of Israel. So in Hebrew, there's actually a double construct chain. We have Am in construct with people of the sons of Israel, and then we have sons of Israel. So we really have two construct chains here. The first one, if we start with of the sons of Israel, that's probably again attributive, because what people are we talking about? We're talking about the sons of Israel. So sons of Israel is an attribute that names who the people are. The second construct chain, which is actually B'nai Yisrael, sons of Israel, that's going to be an example of a genitive of relationship. Okay, that's as far as I want to go, just walking through this stuff in the video. If you have questions, go ahead and post them. I hope this is helpful for you so you can see how to improve your work. We'll give you some feedback. Again, simply make sure that you've distinguished, again, between imperfects and imperfect vav consecutives, and you know what a past narrative is. But we will see you on the discussion centers. Thank you for your good work.